Hello and welcome to A Cup of Grace and Lori. I'm Grace.
And I'm Lori. And today we're going to be talking about astrology and, in particular, the movement of Saturn and Pluto into different signs, which takes place in March 2023, and it's astrologically significant. Before I go into my discussion, I just want to say, okay, so I'm a Leo. So that means when I was born, the sun was in Leo. But as we know, there are other planets in the sky and they affect your personality as well. For example, Mars, Venus, Jupiter, where were they when you were born? They may have been in Leo. For me, they weren't. They may have been in Taurus, Sagittarius, Virgo. So all of these things make up your personality. So today, as I said, I'm going to be talking about the movement of Saturn and Pluto. And why it's significant is because Saturn moves from sign to sign every 2.5 years. And Pluto takes 20 years to move from sign to sign. Mm-hmm. So this is actually huge in astrology, to have these two outer planets move in March. So in order to be efficient, I'm not going to discuss all the 12 astrological signs, how it affects them. I've just taken a handful to give you an idea. And if I don't cover your sign and you want to know, just add a comment and I'll give you an update on how it affects your sign. So I'm going to start with my sign, Leo. And we'll start with Pluto, this large planet that takes 20 years to move signs.
Maybe that's why, because of the mass?
Yeah, exactly. So Pluto is going to be moving into Aquarius. Actually, for 3 months this year, it will move back temporarily into Capricorn, and then in 2024, it moves back into Aquarius for 20 years. But we're getting a preview as of March 23rd. It'll be moving into Aquarius for 3 months. Now, for a Leo, Aquarius is our 7th house of partnerships. So, and
okay,
Pluto,
sorry, before you continue, is there a way for you to explain what you mean by house?
Okay. I'm a Leo. My first house is Leo. So whatever your sun sign is, that's your first house.
How many houses are there? So there are 12 houses.
There are 12.
The number of zodiac signs?
Yes.
Okay.
So for me, my second house is Virgo. You just follow the sequence of signs. My third house would be Libra. My fourth house would be Scorpio. My fifth house is Sagittarius. My sixth house is Capricorn. My seventh house is Aquarius, which is where Pluto is moving to on March 23rd.
Okay, so each house has a particular, what did you say?
Representation. House has a representation. Yeah.
Okay,
the seventh house represents partnerships, whether they be, love or business. It's just any type of partnership. It could be marriage, or business. So yes, and Pluto is this intense, powerful energy that is moving to my 7th house of partnerships. Again, this is for Leo. Yeah.
Okay.
So this tells me that I will meet a current or future partner, business or personal, who could become extremely successful. So this person is going to be coming into my life, if they aren't already, and they have a lot of power, a lot of wealth. This is going to teach me No, the lesson of it's going to be a bit of well, it could be a power struggle because it represents power struggles in relationships in order to teach me and Leos how to effectively use our power so that we're not, we're standing up for ourselves. We're not being steamrolled by someone who has a lot of power. We're not being manipulated. We're bringing the same thing to the we're maybe not bringing the money, but we're bringing an equal contribution to the relationship. So it's to learn how to deal with your own power. The lesson, for Leos with Pluto moving into the 7th house, it's to teach us not to fear losing people or to fear being betrayed. It's to create a self-awareness in being in a powerfully transformative relationship, and we will discover our power within relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very exciting.
Okay, so let me just interject there.
Yeah.
So whatever you're reading right now, so is that the forecast for Leos? The forecast for Pluto in Leo.
No, this is just for Leos, but as Pluto will move into Aquarius, and this is how it will affect Leos. And Pluto moves into Aquarius on March 23rd. So what I've just read applies to all Leos.
Okay, so it's a general forecast.
Yeah, of course.
In March 2023? Or for the rest of 2023?
For the next 3 months, we get a taste of it. March 2020, it happens March 23rd for 3 months. Then Pluto moves back to Capricorn for the rest of the year. But then as of January, I think it's 4th or 5th of next year, Pluto moves back into Aquarius for another 20 years. So that'll be the theme for Leos, or one of the themes for Leos for the next 20 years. Yeah, I know. Now the second one for Leo is the movement of Saturn into Pisces. This already took place on March 7th. So about just over a week ago. And Pisces for Leo is our 8th house. The 8th house represents shared income. So this could be your mortgage, your credit card debt, an inheritance, taxes. It's shared money. It isn't like your income that you earn from your job. It's shared money, and shared is like a mortgage, lottery winnings, taxes, what have I said? Credit cards, the shared income. So with Saturn, and Saturn is the hard teacher, the taskmaster. So it's serious. It's like, okay, it's time to learn how to handle your shared money. So what this could mean for you is that if you have debt, it's time to pay your debts, your financial debts, if you've got outstanding debt. If you're not knowledgeable about investments, Leos, it's time for you to learn about investing. It's time for you to become serious about your shared finances. This house also represents sex and intimacy. So there could be some issues or problems that crop up with intimacy and sexual dysfunction. This is tied to power and control issues. So we have to, maybe if we've been using that to control people, we have to learn, no, that isn't what sex is about, right? We have to learn healthy ways of, well, not controlling others, but I mean of functioning ourselves and controlling our own power. It's also the house of mortality. So we have to face our mortality, which doesn't mean you're going to be, dropping off the face of the earth. It just means you have to be realistic. Maybe it's time to write a will, right? We're not going to live forever. So it's just being realistic about this area in our life. Yeah. So the good news is by the time Saturn finishes their transit in our 8th house, we will hopefully feel richer because we have learned to better manage our shared finances and hopefully heal any, if we're in a sexual relationship, if any of those issues pop up, we'll learn how to better function in a sexual relationship. So that is how it will affect Leo. So any questions, Grace, so far?
I don't think so, but I'm curious to know how you feel about that.
I was like, when I read about the this powerful business partner, I'm like, wow, who's that? You know, and I'll be honest, I've had relationships in my past with a few powerful men, and it wasn't balanced. I mean, they used their money to, whatever. So a part of me is a little bit afraid because I didn't have good experiences with being around people with a lot of money, or at least being in a relationship with someone with a lot of money, because they kind of used it maybe to manipulate me a bit. So, but on the other hand, I have changed so much and grown so much in the past, 15 years, whatever. I'm like, you don't usually get something in your life that you can't handle. Usually things that come into your life, you can handle them. You might have to develop new skills, but, I do believe that we don't get anything in our life that we ultimately can't handle. I believe that. So, but yeah, there's a little bit of like excitement and a little bit of like, oh my God, right? Now, as far as the Saturn in Pisces, I'm okay with that. I have been learning more about investing already because I'm like, wait a minute, I don't want to just be a passive investor. I want to know a little more about what I'm investing my money in, right? So I have been already learning that. Maybe that's, that Saturn moved into Pisces on March 7th, but I've already jumped on that train. So I feel okay with that one. That one doesn't intimidate me as much. But the first one, I was like, oh, wow, that it could be exciting. The Pluto one, that could be exciting. So we'll see what happens.
Well,
Grace, maybe too. You're a business partner. Maybe you're going to become very, very extremely successful, because from what I read, and I did consult a number of sources, by the way, it says it could be a current or future business or personal partner. Maybe you're going to become very powerful, and I'll have to learn how to deal with you. I don't know.
Maybe, Laurie. Of course I am. We got to think positive, baby.
Yeah.
That is part of my when we did that numerology thing, that is kind of it has something to do with my name, I think. Or one of the number calculations that we did.
Yes. I think was it 8
like it's like business or
yes,
enterprise?
yes,
or
it was.
I don't know.
It was. So
spiritual,
it could be
and it's merging spiritual and business.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm excited to see what happens.
But I can predict that I'll be very overbearing. But okay. But you used power and money interchangeably.
Do I use power and money
interchangeably? You did when you were talking about it. You
Mm-hmm.
use money and power interchangeably. So you might meet someone. If this powerful person is not me, Laurie.
Yeah.
It certainly isn't it's not the wealth. Certainly not at this moment. It could be a person who is powerful but doesn't have is not traditionally monetarily affluent, right? It could just maybe that person.
Interestingly, I did consult several. Most of them did say money. They did
Okay.
actually say money.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So,
right. All right.
yeah, we'll see.
Interesting. Okay.
The next sign I chose was Libra.
Okay.
So, Libras, listen up. Pluto is going to be going into your 5th house of children, creativity, fun, entertainment, the fun house. You're going to be investing more energy in this house, like serious energy. It's going to be intense, and you might not be involved in child rearing if you don't have kids, but if you do, you'll be more involved with that. You'll be more involved with creativity, a creative project, with romance,
Yeah.
maybe vacations, entertainment. You're going to be, you might meet a passionate, intense romantic partner. Your
If
attitude
you're not in
towards,
a relationship already.
if you're not in a relationship, or maybe even if you are in a relationship, right? Who knows? Um, this is your attitude towards play and recreation will be intense. So that could be fun. Keep any fears about loss or any feelings of jealousy. Be aware of them because they're not good in relationships. You're craving intensity in creative or romantic matters. So that could be fun. Now for Libra, Saturn will be moving into your 6th house. So we talked about Saturn's moving into Pisces. For Libra, that's your 6th house, which represents work and health. So you're going to feel more pressure to work. Like, how can you make better use of your time? How can you manage your work and health better? It would be a good time if you need this to begin a new health regime, a new exercise program. You may not need that. You might already be in 100% perfect shape. But if you aren't, it would be a good time to focus on that. You're by the end of this transit, which is approximately 2.5 years, you'll become more healthy and productive. So that's good news for Libras.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Pisces is the next sign I chose. For Pisces, okay. when Pluto moves into Aquarius, that's their 12th house, which the 12th house represents your unconscious dreams, unconscious desires. So you're going to be learning you're going to be exploring more of your personal psychology, your unconscious motivations, maybe things from your childhood. You're going to be uncovering secrets about yourself, and you might find that your intuition is really sharp. The purpose of this transit is to clear out any of the ghosts from your past. Be honest with yourself, and so that you become a stronger person. And you may find that as you've I don't want to say heal yourself, that you can become a healer for others, because you will be learning very unusual things about your own hidden nature. So very interesting time for Pisces. Now they'll also be having Saturn in their 1st house. The 1st house represents yourself. So this will mean that they'll have a focus on how they come across to others. There'll be a focus on their physical body. Again, if you're not in the best of health, it's a good time to start a new health regime. You're going to become more serious about your outlook on life. And you may, in the beginning of this transit, you may lack a bit of self-confidence. Who doesn't, right? Really, right? Mm-hmm. Saturn will help you to improve your self-confidence. But more importantly, you're not going to look to others for validation. You're going to look to yourself. You're going to learn to look to yourself for validation. You won't care what others, will think. Saturn removes any illusions you have about yourself. So again, it's a kind of a time of looking in the mirror and being honest, and it will reveal a new identity for you that is authentic, and then which you can use towards future success. It's a time of a new beginning for Pisces, lots of internal growth. You'll become more self-sufficient, and you'll become more in touch with yourself. So that's good news for Pisces.
That sounds really good.
Yeah.
Do these forecasts relate only to your sun sign?
The most prominent would be reading for your sun sign. Like
Okay.
I could read, yeah, okay. So, all right, so we're gonna move to Taurus. Pluto is gonna be, this is good news for Taurus. Pluto is moving into your 10th house of career. So this Pluto is gonna bring deep changes to your career. You're gonna be very ambitious. You may be tested by some jealous colleagues, but these, whenever this happens, we all have this happen, it's just to challenge you to become stronger and more confident in yourself. You might uncover ambitions that you didn't even know you had. You might uncover fears about that you're not performing up to standards, but you've got to find ways to eliminate that type of thinking. And during this period where you've got all this career activity, make sure that you take some downtime to, relax, de-stress. That's important to balance that out. Now for Taurus as well, they've got this, Saturn is moving into their 11th house, which is the house of friends and groups. You might, during this time, there's going to be more activity with friends and groups and associations, and you may want to join new groups, but you're also going to be asking yourself, how do I fit in with my existing group and my existing friends? Are these fulfilling relationships, or are these, casual or superficial? Do I need to make new friends or join new groups? So that's going to be another area of emphasis for Taurus. Now, finally, the final example that I've chosen is Scorpio.
Okay.
So Pluto will be moving into your 4th house of home and family. And this will bring deep changes to your home or family life and your psyche. You'll be exploring your roots, your childhood conditioning. You're going to unbury some resentments that you maybe haven't dealt with. Try and avoid obsessing over things that can't be changed, right? We've all had things that we don't like about our past, and no sense carrying them with us into the present, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is the time for Scorpios to remove any superficial aspects to your life and express your authentic self. You might feel that you might feel vulnerable and during this time, but try not to control others as a way of feeling more secure. It really doesn't work, right? It doesn't. It's just right. It doesn't work. You're going to come out of this transit much more confident after dealing with some of these things from home conditioning, childhood conditioning, and getting rid of them. And finally, for Scorpios, Saturn is moving into your 5th house. So and the 5th house is the fun house, entertainment, children. Yeah. So you might feel initially a bit limited by not having excitement or spark in your life, or how you have fun. So this might bother you a bit about the way maybe you're not having enough fun. So you're going to reevaluate your creativity, your creative, sorry, I should say the fifth house is also creativity. I don't think I said that. You're going to reevaluate how you use your creative talents, how you spend your leisure and your recreation, and you're going to express your creativity in a more practical manner. And this will give you a better understanding of your creative talents and what makes you unique. That's all I have to say about the movement of Saturn and Pluto this month. It's, as you can tell, it's bringing very exciting changes to all our lives, and that's just a sample. If I didn't touch on your sun sign, leave a comment and I'll give you an update for you on Saturn and Pluto in your sign. So
Okay.
do you have any questions, Grace?
Well, I'm just wondering, so these are forecasts, right?
Yes.
That you're reading.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
So not necessarily predictions.
They're not predictions. They're just telling you this is the focus that this planet will bring for this sun sign. And of course, I mean, it depends on our whole, like, we're not just Leos. We have, I mean, I'm a Leo, but then I have a moon in Virgo and I have Jupiter in Sagittarius, and then I have Mars in Taurus, whatever. So, and other Leos will have different ones, right? I mean, so this is a general reading, but so you'll feel it to a larger or lesser extent, depending on your whole, your whole astrological outlook. But you will feel it. You will feel it. It's just some will feel it perhaps maybe more intensely than others. But what I've just described, will be a trend for those signs. But some will feel it maybe more intensely than others. Some will say, yeah, oh yeah, that was definitely happening, but it didn't upset my whole life, or, so again, it's not like everybody's going to feel it exactly the same way. No, they won't, right? We're individuals. And again, we have different, like each chart is different, because I'm a Leo, but I mean, I can compare my sign with other Leos, but they'll say, oh yeah, but my Jupiter's in Cancer, and mine's in Libra, mine's in Sag. So these bring different things to, to the personality, right? But in general, yeah, these are the trends, the energies that are going to be taking place over the next, with Saturn, it's 2.5 years, and then Pluto, remember I said it's only moving into, where's Pluto moving? Aquarius for the first 3 months of this year. Then it moves back to Capricorn. And then in January, it moves back again in Aquarius for 20 more years. So.
Well, because, for example, like everyone has different circumstances. So this general forecast may not really be relevant to certain people. Like, for example, I know a Taurus, and that Taurus doesn't have a career, for example.
Well,
maybe
that's
that person's
fine.
retired.
That's okay. That's okay. I know some Tauruses that don't have their career happening either, but
they're retired. So
then
the 10th house, which is career, it's really not. It's not going to.
That okay. Obviously, if they're retired, are they like, how old are they? Are they 60? Are they 80? If there's, you know what though? That doesn't mean if they're just in their 60s, they might. The career one is what Pluto is bringing. It hasn't happened yet, right? Pluto is bringing this, so it doesn't mean that it's happening right now. It will be as of, and remember, things don't just happen just because Pluto moves into Aquarius on March 23rd. It's not like everything just happens all on the 23rd, right? It's over time, right? But in that case, if they're retirement age, they discover a side gig that they love and maybe brings in
retirement, way beyond retirement age.
Of course, if they're 80 or 85, right? No, that's right. Of course, you have to, exactly. You have to take this into consideration. So, no, for sure. Or if someone is like 1 year old or 2 years old, right? Obviously, they're not going to be in there. But actually, having said that, with Pluto, because it's in the sign for 20 years, the 1 year old or the 2 year old may find when they get to be age 16 or 17, you know, that their career,
or
that they're very intense.
Yeah, they get on TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Okay.
You raise a good point, but yeah, this is generally for assuming you are, you know, again, if you're a Taurus, assuming you are in the in the working world or eligible to be in the working world. So yeah.
All righty. Yeah, that was interesting. That was interesting. Looks promising for all the signs, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's all good, right? It's all good
it's all for personal growth.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, any change is good. I'm finding it's hard for me to say that because I've never really, I have a love-hate relationship with change, right? I mean, I like change and then I don't like change. So I'm trying to learn to love change though, because change is good. Change is good. You know, it brings improvements. So that's a good thing. Yeah. And I hope you enjoyed this talk and I hope it was helpful and I hope you're excited like I am. And we'll talk to you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.